Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. Welcome everybody to this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm Kesenya, here to tell you all about what's going on in the astral skies from the 24th of September through to the 1st of October. And what an interesting week it's going to be. Get ready, hold your breath, or don't hold your breath, because there's going to be a lot of ups and downs and upheavals. It is going to be very, very interesting. Now, keep in mind, as I do this reading, I say this at the beginning of all my videos, that this is a reading for your personal life. And it's a general read for your personal life, not a reading about the big collective experience and all the mundane things that are happening out in the world and with the politicians and so on and what we're living through right now. It's not about that. It's what I'm speaking about today is more about what's going to affect you, how you will feel, what you might encounter in your week ahead. A general reading, not one where I look at your personal chart, obviously, just the general vibe of the energies this week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel to go into the September competition to win a written solar return report from Guiding Star Astrology. This is the final week. The winner will be drawn and announced in next week's video. Now, you may hear some voices in the background. I do apologize for that. It's school holidays in Australia and my children are home. And looking forward to getting some space again when school goes back. Now, we have been experiencing, as we all have seen, a lot of upheavals over the last 2.5 to 3 years, okay? And now a lot of people have said to me, why? What's going on in the astrology that's causing this? What's the reason it's been so terrible compared to other times in history when we had these similar kind of energetic dynamics in the chart playing out? Why is this time around so much worse? And we've looked at various scenarios as to why that is. I've done some interviews with Rick De Clemente where we've talked about Aries and Pluto making a square. That's certainly been a part of the dynamic of what's been experienced. But I was reading a wonderful book the other day that I highly recommend called The First Astronomers. And in it made just a passing comment about the star Betelgeuse. And it dawned on me that what it was talking about with Betelgeuse was so rare and so unusual that it could very well be part of the influence that we've experienced over the past 2.5 years as well. So I'm going to read to you from this book. The book is by Dwayne Hamacher, Hamacher. Everyone knows I'm not very good with my pronunciation, so I hope I've got that right. And it's called The First Astronomers. Okay. In late 2019, Betelgeuse began to dim rapidly, sending waves of surprise throughout the astronomical community and making global headlines. It started to dim in October, and by December it had faded from magnitude 0.5 to 1.5, a factor of 2.5 times in astronomical data, dropping in rank from the 11th brightest star in the sky to the 24th brightest star in the sky. And skipping down a few paragraphs, Betelgeuse dimmed in this instance is because of a dark spot formed on the star, just like a sunspot on our sun. Combined with gas the star previously ejected into space, cooling and condensing as dust, which acted like a dark cloud between us and the star. This occurred, as you will have heard me read, in late 2019. What started to happen, after that, after December 2019? We moved into a phase where we had the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, which occurs every 20 years. There's nothing unusual about that. That's a fairly, it's a cyclical thing that happens every 20 years. That occurred in December as well. And then by January, things started to get a little bit rocky. And by March, everything had gone, to hell in a handbasket, as they say. So I couldn't help but wonder, combined with all the energies that were playing out, the royal conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. We had the square forming between Aries and Pluto. As we moved through 2020 into 2021, we had the Saturn-Uranus square. All of these, like Saturn-Uranus square and Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, actually, thank you, Headspace. That's a reminder that occurred as well. That was part of all that as well. These things are cyclical. Perhaps not the Pluto Eris square. That's not quite as frequent as the other things that occur. But I've just been scratching my head, as I know a lot of astrologers have, about why has it been so different this time? Why has it been so horrific this time? And I don't know that many people have put an analysis of the fixed stars into the configuration. But here is an example of visual astrology, which is the most ancient form of astrology. I talk about this in the Royal Stars Academy quite extensively. Visual astrology, what you see repeats or plays out as above, so below, here on Earth. And here is Betelgeuse, the 11th brightest star in the sky, one of the biggest known stars at this point in time. It's a monster out there, suddenly dimming significantly. Therefore, we on Earth are receiving much less of Betelgeuse visual energy, and suddenly everything starts to go to the juice. Betelgeuse. It just seems too coincidental, to ignore. Actually, I don't believe in coincidences. I think that everything is aligned. And so this to me is a very interesting factor that I read, and I just wanted to share it with my beautiful astrological community here. Maybe that is why we've gone through the hell we've been through in the last 3 years. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I wasn't able to find anywhere online that would tell me what Betelgeuse's current magnitude is. So I don't know whether that cloud has dispersed and Betelgeuse has gone back to its status. But if you were to read this amazing book, I hope you can see that. It does talk about how ancient cultures, particularly Australian Aboriginal cultures, noticed the fluctuations in star patterns, moon patterns, etc., and correlated them to events that occurred on the Earth. So quite profound. Certainly Betelgeuse is likely to have had an influence, I believe, on us over the last few years. Here's hoping things get better. But what's happening this week in the skies? Well, lots and lots of stuff is going on. We have a new moon forming here in Libra, which I'll just set up here. But before we get to that, on the 26th of this month, Venus is going to be trining. Here is Venus in sort of the latter degrees, 26 degrees to be precise, of Virgo, making a trine aspect to Pluto up here at 26 degrees of Capricorn. So if you have planets in around 26 degrees of these Earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, or even Taurus, you'll feel this energy in a benevolent kind of way. And I like to compare this energy to the oomph, if you like, the power of Batman and Catwoman. Venus trine Pluto, it sort of throws us into the path of new lovers or new sexual experiences or passion or karmic relationships, or even actually not karmic, more of the twin flame soulmate variety of relationships. Karmic relationships are seen where there's a square from Pluto to Venus, but the more beautiful benevolent relationships are seen with this trine. And it does so with all the power of the Cape Crusader and Catwoman, and the sexual tension that you could see, in those movies. So it's a very transformative energy, and it's transformative in a relational sense. Our relationships are going to be transformed in the most beautiful, liberating, uplifting of ways. So our relational situation can change under this influence, particularly if we have planets around 26 degrees. But also our finances can change. We've got the ancient god of great wealth, Pluto, and our general indicator for money, both interacting in a benevolent way. So our finances can strengthen, and so can our intuition under this influence. So we might get some sudden windfalls. There might be some helpful negotiations that we have with powerful people. We might have an increase in our desire side, that brings in, as within, so without. It brings in the benevolent experiences with money and with relationships that we want. We can have big changes in appearance as well, because Venus is our beauty. So our appearance might go through some benevolent changes too. So if you've got planets around here, don't underestimate the potential of this really beautiful interaction. I'm quite excited by it. I think it's a beautiful combo. Now, that's also feeding into, it doesn't interact with the new moon, but it's also feeding into the new moon because it's occurring on the same day. So they're both happening. The new moon here in Libra at 2 degrees of Libra is opposing Jupiter at 3 degrees of Aries. So we've got an opposition here. But let's talk about the new moon in Libra to begin with. So hang on to your stylish Libran hats, everybody. This new moon, because of the opposition to Jupiter, looks set to expand everything. And what I mean by everything is everything that Libra represents. Libra can give us refreshment in relationships. So that could be, tied in with this beautiful trine, could be quite benevolent, obviously, for relationships, refreshing relationships, even new relationships look set to begin for some people, particularly if you have planets around 2 degrees or thereabouts of Libra. I've got Pluto at 4 degrees, so I'm like, that would be kind of cool if that happened. So it could bring new relationships in, but the new moon might see us experiencing some sort of refined culture, or there might be a focus on legal matters for some people, because Libra has to do with lawyers, and this could look like big opportunities for some people, or can even be big problems in legal circumstances, because Jupiter is opposing, and in Western astrology, an opposition can from Jupiter can sometimes mean overexpansion. Like we expect to get a big windfall from a legal circumstance, and it doesn't turn out quite like we think it will. Jupiter expands our expectations regarding Libran things, maybe love, maybe relationships, yes, but also legal matters. Thank you, head. Finally getting it in gear with what I'm talking about. So what my suggestion is under this new moon energy, and I talk extensively about this for the Patreon family, we talk about what it means when it's interacting with personal planets here. We talk about what it means for each sign as well. We give the breakdown and the forecast. We look at new moons in general. We do a ceremony. You don't want to miss it. Honestly, the new moon and full moon reports at the Patreon family are so well loved and appreciated, and big kisses to all my beautiful Patreon friends and family out there who are part of that group that love to receive this astrological information each month. But my suggestion would be keep true, keep integrous regarding making fresh starts under this new moon, and do so with hope, faith, and optimism, and you'll be channeling the highest energies of Jupiter into this new moon experience. Now also, the day after this occurs, we're going to have a Mercury trine to Pluto. I won't draw the line there again because Venus and Mercury are practically at the same spot. This is going to give penetrating insights into our life. If we need clarity of understanding, then that 27th is going to be very powerful for that. Our mental aptitude can be quite exceptional. Our focus can be exceptional. And if we work in mercurial or Plutonian fields like communication, counseling, therapy, sex therapy, death, crisis management, divorce, or anything to do with occult practices, then your business might really blossom and be empowered because of the interaction of Pluto with Neptune. So really quite a good, it's looking good, isn't it? High potency, but looking good. Also, the sun opposite the moon here can actually give an increase. Not the sun opposite the moon. The sun opposite Jupiter. So here is the sun as part of the new moon. The moon is invisible, but on the 27th, it's also opposing Jupiter exact. Both at 3 degrees by this stage. And when we have the sun opposite Jupiter, Jupiter will be brightest in the sky for the year. So if you pop out at night, look for Jupiter. Jupiter will be at its fullest, if you like. It's like you've got a new moon because the moon is with the sun, but Jupiter is like performing its full moon-esque behavior. It is going to be its brightest, and therefore in visual astrology, which the ancients practiced, it was considered to be at its most benevolent, most blessed when there is an opposition. So Very, very beautiful, very, very powerful. So there's an increase in vitality that might come on the 27th, an increase in confidence, an increase in abundance for some people. For some people, it can herald a peak in a professional project, or you might get the chance to interact with some very high level person in society that can bless you, like a benefactor or a kingly son person. So that's the wisdom that comes from visual astrology. But in Western astrology, we do consider that a Jupiter hard aspect can cause us to overstretch ourselves, take on too many goals or projects, or have overblown, as I said before, expectations, or committing ourselves to more than we can realistically handle. So a bit of a mixed bag with that Jupiter opposition, I feel. Now, on the 29th of this month, Mars is going to trine Saturn. Yay, thank God it's a trine and not a square. We really don't need a square from Mars in Gemini to Saturn in Aquarius at this point. But they will be interacting and tangling a little bit over the coming months because of Mars going retrograde in Gemini at the end of October. So this is happening at 19 degrees. It's going to bring lasting success that can come to real estate deals or any construction endeavors that you want to undertake. So if you're looking to buy a property, or if you're looking to build a house or something, this can be a very beneficial time. I still wouldn't be signing any contracts until Mercury goes direct and not retrograde, but if you're thinking about it, you might find just what you're looking for under this energy. It's great for exercise programs and creating new structure in an exercise program, or any area of life actually where you're needing to exert your willpower in order to get ahead. You can utilize this energy to be at your beck and call or at your advantage. It's a supportive energy for any relationships with authority figures, bosses, father figures, or even young men, which are ruled by Mars. So any of these people can be very helpful towards your efforts for personal success now. So if you need to reach out to any of those types of people, that's the day on the 29th of September. And then on the 30th of September, and this is the final energy for this week, in goes Venus into Libra. And don't we all breathe a beautiful big sigh of relief? Venus is in her home territory, so relationships light up even more so than they did under the new moon, because Venus is like the ruler of Libra is in her home. Phew! So there's an energy of gentility and kindness that occurs here in our approach to our romantic interactions. Libra is a very accommodating sign, and we might find ourselves carrying that sort of patience and accommodation of others into our love relationships, and our relationships also if we have friendships and so on with younger women. Under this influence, that can also be blessed too. So opportunities for romance can increase because Libra is at home now, crossing the point of the new moon as well. That'll be a potent day. That'll come in early October when that happens, when Libra joins forces with the energy that will still be there from the new moon. But you will also be able to have very intelligent conversations. There'll be a hallmark of your new relationships that begin under this Venus in Libra energy. And if you're artistically inclined, you will be inspired to produce some of your better works during Venus's stay for the next 30 days in Libra. Spending money though, Venus is spending money, and here in Libra we might be spending money on high-end sophisticated items like clothing, art, food. They might be very enticing to you now, so check your budget before you jump into that. But it could, if you've got the money there, it could be quite a good time to be investing in some of those things. So that's the roundup for this week. Now we're going to be looking at the specific energy that I want to explore, which is going to be this beautiful Sun opposite to Jupiter at 3 degrees, which we've drawn in here. And so this is happening on the 27th of September. Let's start. Who will we start with? I think we might start with, I might go Libra, our first house people. Well, this is going to bring opportunities for success and good fortune your way. But you know what? Because the faster moving planet, i.e. the Sun in this instance, is in your first house, that's where the energy will be felt, because Jupiter's kind of steady and slow over here and the Sun's zipping through your sign. It's more personal energy for the passing days that are coming this week. So what we're seeing, Libra, is that you're going to have to be the one to instigate some sort of action that will ultimately lead to some sort of success, some sort of good fortune and increased happiness. So this is happening on your relationship axis. It could look like you making an approach to somebody, or, you know, writing a letter to someone or an email to someone, or approaching someone at a bar or something like that and saying, hey, can I buy you a drink? This is the sort of energy that might be happening. It could be instigating a benevolent energy into an existing relationship, trying to bring it back into harmony and balance, Libra. That can be a worthwhile endeavor on the 27th if you need it in your life. It's also the energy of good karma, rewards for good deeds. So you might be the recipient of some kind of blessing from the universe on the 27th of September, Libra. Don't let your luck go to your head, of course, but generally we are seeing you being able to survive better and thrive better as a result of some good karma that comes your way. Good things and, you know, increased happiness and opportunities falling into place without too much effort, and this will tend to have to do with your physical journey through life. So, you know, maybe your physical body has been tired or something. This can energize you on the 27th to have more get up and go and make things happen. Or maybe your body has been, you know, maybe it's been really cold where you are, and suddenly, you know, something happens and you like, you know what, I've got enough money to pay for good heating or something like that, and good karma, reward for past life or this life, good deeds. Things fall into place regarding looking after your body, you know, with enough heat or enough clothing or enough food or enough shelter, that kind of stuff. Survival becomes easier under this benevolent interaction to your first house. So does the ability to initiate new things, like I said, opportunities that lead to success. So there can be not only you instigating those things, but the doors open for you. Keep your eyes peeled. You know, somebody might come to you with an offer for employment or something, and you've been really needing some extra money. There's your opportunity. There's your window. There's your door of opportunity to step through. So, you know, you'll have to take that offer up and take that action, but the good karma comes to you if you are in need. So I would encourage you, my beautiful Libran friends, do the Jupiterian thing and pray to the divine for whatever you need, particularly around the 27th, and you might be very surprised at what manifests for you as a blessing to take you forward in life, to help you live more fruitfully, more abundantly, and more blessed. Quite a powerful combination, Jupiter-Sun opposition. So, thank you, Librans. Looking good for you guys. Now, Scorpio rising, Sun or Moon, puts the energy of Jupiter opposite the Sun, not talking about the new moon here, we're talking about Jupiter opposite the Sun, in your 12th house. Well, this is a house that is... it's our blind spot. It's like looking over your shoulder when you're driving because you can't see that thing just behind your head. Well, that's the 12th house. So it can be difficult to get a grasp on what's going on in the 12th house. But that's why this is the house of praying, meditating, looking for signs and omens and signals and forebodings, trusting your intuition, because you can't see things plainly and clearly, so you've got to rely on other instincts here. You know, you just got a hunch that there's somebody over your shoulder there, you know, that sort of thing, or talking to a higher being that can say, hey, here's some clarity, let me give it to you. So this really is an energy that's saying, through prayer, through meditation, through channelings, through trusting your intuition, maybe through automatic writing, maybe through watching for omens and signals from the universe, you might get a message that could lead you into opportunity for success, good fortune, increased happiness. In fact, your ancestors on the other side might be pulling some strings to bring good karma your way and give you an opportunity. You mightn't see it coming, it mightn't be clear, but there it is on your doorstep. You follow your gut, you follow your intuition, step through that doorway, and suddenly there is good fortune waiting for you. So I love Jupiter opposite the Sun energy for this capacity to bring us blessing. It's where things can fall into place without too much effort on our behalf. And certainly when the 12th house is being activated like this, it's the higher realms that are behind it all. So you might get a message in your sleep. On this day, take notice of what dreams you have, you know, and what the message from that dream actually is. Jupiter is good karma, and so you might be getting some reward for your good deeds, and the message about that might be coming through in your sleep or in your daydreams. What are you daydreaming about on this day? What's your fantasy on this day? Ask yourself, what is it that my heart longs for? And whatever comes up in answer to that question, don't ignore it. That is your higher self speaking to you about what you feel you deserve in terms of good karma. I'd put this on a piece of paper and present it to the universe, like maybe you might do that through writing a letter, and then burning the letter while you say a prayer or something like that, or, just offer it up to the universe to send you the good karma that you want, the reward for your good deeds. Jupiter is sending this benevolent energy to the sun. The sun is our identity, how we show up in this world, our confidence. And so Scorpio, this is where it's at. It's about channeling the blessings of past lives, the good karma from past lives to help you in this incarnation as you move forward. So pray, meditate, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your daydreams and your intuitions, trust what they're telling you, and then use that information to take steps forward and create for yourself opportunities for success and good fortune. So there could be an increased enthusiasm for some sort of artistry or spiritual practice that you receive on this particular day, the 27th. The one warning I would say with this is that some people under this energy might be more inclined to excess or wasting opportunities. So, you might get a message from the divine, an intuition, a prickling of your thumbs or something, and you just ignore it. You waste an opportunity. The universe is saying you need to go and speak to that person on the bus. Go and sit next to them and start talking to them. And you're like, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to look out the window here. And there's your wasted opportunity. You didn't listen to your intuition. You didn't trust the guidance of the divine that was speaking like almost audibly to you. And you miss an opportunity. So I would just encourage my beautiful Scorpio friends, even if it seems utterly ludicrous, go and do what the divine higher self is telling you. Go and speak to that person on the bus. Go and buy that postcard in that little cute little shop. But whatever it happens to be, take flowers to that person who you just met 2 minutes ago. Whatever it is, you don't know what the divine is trying to pull into your experience on this day. Just trust and act upon that energy. You might be really surprised at what comes into your life. Okay, thank you, Scorpio. Now for our beautiful Sagittarius, rising sun or moon people. Jupiter, your ruling planet, sits opposite the sun, which is the planet of identity, confidence, and self. And this is happening in the 11th house, the house of where we can be profitable and gainful, Sagittarius. So this is where you might get an opportunity for more success, more good fortune, and increased happiness. Well, it's through networking, through reaching out and being a part of a group. It might look like going to a protest march. It might look like connecting with a group online that, thinks like you. It could be through actually physically going and joining, the country club or something like that. With Libra here, that's probably the kind of groups you would join, sort of prestigious groups, high socially respectable groups, Libra energy. But by being in those circumstances with those groups of people, you might, and there's no might about it, you will meet affluential people who can give you opportunities for success and good fortune and blessing under this energy on the 27th of September. Now, if you play the stock market, I want to encourage you under this influence to trust your gut. I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please know that. But this is the house of the stock market, and this is a very benevolent interaction. So if you know about playing the stock market and it's something that you do, use your intuition, use your gut, and see where it takes you. Look, I don't like telling people, put your life savings on red or black or whatever, not gambling and stuff. And I do see the stock market as a form of gambling, quite like, intellectually geared gambling. But what am I trying to say here? I don't want anyone to lose their life savings, but this is an energy of trusting our intuition and receiving benefit. So, and this is the house of the stock market. So if you know what you're doing, then maybe have a crack. Not with your life savings, but with a little bit. One of the things we do say with Jupiter opposite the sun is don't let your luck go to your head. And you know, some people with this energy are more inclined to excess and wasting opportunities. So don't go overboard, but use your knowledge, use your intuition as well, and see what it can bring you in that regard. Now, this is the house of rewards and gains as well, and where we can be profitable and gainful from what we contribute to the world. And that's because this is the second house, 1, 2, from the 10th house of career. So what does this mean? Well, it means that your career might take a turn for the better, or there might be a flutter in your favor in regards to gainfulness from what you do for a living. Let's say, I don't know, maybe let's say you're a teacher or online podcaster or something like that, and you get a rise in popularity. Or as a teacher, a lot of people sign up for your courses or something like that. There could be like a flutter of favor that comes your way through your career. In what you do to put yourself out there in the world. This is also the house of dreams and ambitions and wishes. And they could really, there could be some really good karma that comes your way. Jupiter is past life and also early this life, good karma, rewards for good deeds. You might find that your dreams and wishes are a step closer to manifesting and coming true, or they may manifest and come true as a result, as a reward from the universe for the good deeds you've done in past lives. Suddenly everything falls into place without too much effort, and everything you've been dreaming of and wishing for and hoping for starts to form and take form in the physical realm for you. So quite an exciting energy. Don't forget to practice gratitude. Jupiter, also keep optimistic and to pray to keep that vibration high and cause that manifestation to come to pass. Beautiful. Capricorn, rising, sun or moon. Well, the beautiful opposition of sun and Jupiter that's occurring, it occurs once a year. Jupiter is brightest in the sky at this time. This is happening for you on the angular 10th and 4th house. Now, this is happening on the 27th of September at 3 degrees. Jupiter is aspecting by opposition the planet that represents the self, the identity, who we are, and our confidence. So our confidence gets expanded. And obviously, once it's as within, so without, once we feel really good about ourselves in our career workspace, or in our with our duties, with our obligations, once we feel like, yep, I can take on more responsibilities, I have good leadership capacity, I can do well in my job. Once we are feeling that way within, it will manifest for us on the outer. You might be given more leadership opportunities. You might be given, a higher profile at work. You might be, find that you're serving as a point of inspiration and mentoring for others with this. Your reputation can increase, Capricorn, and be blessed. You might get a position in the community of some leadership position. So there's a lot of benefit that comes with this. You need to be keeping your eyes peeled, though. Look for opportunities, and when you do that, you'll see them. The opportunities will be there, and you will be able to sort of increase your good fortune, increase your general happiness by taking the bull by the horns with these opportunities that are all around you. Now, also, career success can fall into place without too much effort on this day. You win that top level client, or you get that contract that you've been vying for, or that sort of thing. So there can be sort of, you've done the work, now you're sitting back and the universe does the rest. Here comes the good energy falling into place, career-wise, without too much effort to make it happen now. Good karma is also here. Rewards for good deeds. You might, and this is the house of the father, you might receive some sort of benevolence from your father as a reward for being a great son, This Jupiter is reward, or daughter, so I shouldn't be sort of gearing it one way or another, but reward for good deeds can happen from here. This is also the house that has to do with the wealth of our father. And so you could receive some wealth benefactory from a father. He might leave you his, I don't know, groovy old 1950s hot rod or something like that, and like, what a legacy. This is the house of the legacy. And so you inherit something. It's not a house of inheritances per se, but it's the house of wealth from the father. And your father's wealth might prove to be a beautiful opportunity for you, or some sort of good karma for you. It could be that your father's reputation causes you to have good success in the world. Like, oh, you're such and such's daughter. That's right. Well, hey, look, we'll give you a position here because your old man, my goodness, he's a good man, and, you know, we know him, and blah, blah, blah. So it's through that reputation of the father, the wealth of, which is part of a person's wealth, is their good name and their legacy, that you can succeed. You can have good fortune come your way. So your father's contacts, your father's connections might prove to be very beneficial for you. And that is part of the good karma here that we're seeing with this. So a lot of ways that this could manifest for you, my beautiful Capricorn friends. Take advantage of this. Don't let these opportunities pass you by, because one of the things with a hard aspect in Western astrology with Jupiter is that some people can be inclined to excess and wasting opportunities that present. Don't take them for granted. Keep humble, keep grateful. Don't let any good luck go to your head, and celebrate and make the most of whatever the universe places your way with regard to your reputation, what you receive from your father, and career and leadership opportunities that will be in your life under this influence. Alrighty, moving along. Aquarius rising, sun or moon people. Well, haven't you guys had the interesting last couple of years? Whenever we have Saturn moving through the first house, it's one of the top 4 transits that people will go through that will absolutely transform their lives. So you've had it going on, my beautiful Aquarian friends. But that's not what we're here to talk about this time around. We're here to talk about Jupiter opposite the sun falling in your 9th house. Well, this is the house of communication with the gods. And here with Jupiter making such a beautiful, benevolent interaction with the sun on the 27th of September, there could be, it could be that the divine is giving you good fortune and blessing. This is the house of blessing. So there is an opportunity for increased happiness for our Aquarius friends on the 27th, increased success in life, but keep your eyes open so that you can grab it when it comes, you know, not taking it for granted. Looking for the opportunities can help you see opportunities that you might never have noticed were there before. Remember I said in the intro, Sun and Jupiter, this is when Jupiter's at its brightest, giving his most benevolent energy when he's opposite the sun every year. This occurs once a year. So there's illumination here. Illumination happening. Sun, first of all, is illuminating your 9th house, and Jupiter is bringing this luck and expansion and optimism and good karma to you. So, you know, it's about knowing your purpose, knowing your mission, having the light of understanding revealed to you and illuminated to you, discovering what your truth is, discovering freedom and liberation. So I just see so much blessing coming your way if you have the eyes open to see what is being illuminated before you under this influence. So very much the house of the big picture, very much the house of the big patterns in life. You will see and know the truth and be able to make lucky choices that will serve you well going forward into the future as well with this. I expect that a lot of you Aquarian people will get goosebump eureka moments. So that could look like, you know, things falling into place. Maybe you've always wanted, I went to a tiny home exhibition last weekend, so I'll use that as an analogy. Maybe you've always wanted to have one of those tiny houses on wheels and put it out in the forest and just be like Captain Fantastic and, you know, live a million miles from everybody. Gosh, that sounds good, doesn't it? But maybe Aquarius, you know, that's been your forward looking, where you want to go. That's the big picture of what you want to achieve in life, you know, to live that off-grid kind of, you know, life. And here comes Jupiter opposite the sun, and all of a sudden, my Aquarian friends, boom, somebody gives you a tiny house to live in. You're like, oh, I don't need it anymore. I'm going to go and do X, Y, Z. Here, you can look after my tiny house for me. And you're like, my God, my dream, my goal has fallen into place without too much effort at all. And away I go, living my Captain Fantastic life out in the bush, you know. So what I'm saying here is that the big picture of what you want to achieve, your mission, what gives your life meaning and purpose, can come to pass in a way that feels like good karma. And that is good karma on the 27th of September. Things can fall into place without you having to bust a gut to make it happen. I love this energy. Now, the one thing I would say about this, Aquarius, is don't let the good luck go to your head. Keep humble and grateful. Some people with this sun opposite Jupiter can be a bit inclined to overindulge, and if opportunities come their way, they kind of waste them and don't value them. So realize that whatever comes your way on the 27th, this is the divine taking care of you. This is the house of communication with the gods. This is the divine giving you blessing, giving you your reward. Make the most of it. Be grateful for it. And go with that door of opportunity that opens on the 27th. Thanks very much, Aquarius rising sun and moon people. Now we're going to look at for Pisces. Pisces rising sun and moon are having the energy of Jupiter, their ruling planet, opposing the sun, all about our identity and our confidence, how we shine in the world, in the 8th house, the house of transformations. So I see benevolent transformations happening for so many Pisces people as a result of this. And look, you know, it's been heavy energy the last couple of weeks. It really has, for everyone, not just Pisces, for everybody. What this is telling me is that this, of all the signs this week, on the 27th, you Pisces are the ones who can really change without too much effort. You know, change if you've been sad, if you've been heavy, if you've been in a state of heartache and misfortune. Here comes your ruling sign opposing the sun. Good karma is seen by this interaction, suddenly transforming and changing the whole state of your life, turning you around 180 degrees, giving you opportunities to transform, to change, and to move ahead in some way that's going to give you more fortune, more happiness, more benevolence, more abundance, more fruition of good things. I love this energy for you, Pisces. Be encouraged, be uplifted by this. This is an energy of good luck happening in the house of fast transformations. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. I do apologize. So whatever changes come as a result of this, they're going to be beneficial. So don't be afraid. But they're going to happen fast. Big dramatic reversals that occur sort of suddenly. This only happens, I will point out, Pisces, this only happens for you once every 12 years, a Jupiter-Sun opposition in the 8th house. So it is the kind of once in a 12-year dynamic of change. So get ready for it. It's coming. It's happening. You have been probably patiently waiting for a shift in energy, and here it comes. It can help you get out of a rut with life. And if you've been feeling like life is, you know, repetitive and boring and I'm stuck in a rut, this is what you need. So how can you utilize this energy? Well, I would be connecting with the mystical and the magical. You know, looking for ways that you can rebirth your life or reinvent your life in some way, or reactivate your life where it has been feeling dead. You know, maybe you've been living in a town and it's been suffocating for you. Or maybe you've been in a friends group that has felt like, oh man, these people are just dragging me down. Then look for those places where you're stuck in a rut and pray to the divine that the good karma of this energy can be what changes things. And suddenly you find a friends group that you really fit with, or you move to a different town where it feels like a breath of fresh air or something like that. What we could also see, Pisces, is windfalls and inheritances that come all of a sudden, you know. Maybe you've been a really good daughter or son, or a granddaughter or grandson, and really been there for your parents or your grandparents or something like that. And they're like, you know what, I really appreciate you. I'm going to, you know, give you XYZ as a reward for your good deeds. This is good karmic reward here in the house of inheritances. So that could be such a blessing. I mean, it could look like anything. It could be a tangible item. It could be that you receive, you know, grandma's cookbook or something like that. Here, I want you to have it because, you know, I know you've loved cooking with me all your life from the time you were very little when we used to bake biscuits together. Here's my cookbook. I want you to have it. And you receive this inheritance that is a blessing, a benediction from some person in your lineage. So that can happen as a gift and a blessing, and see those things. If you should receive something from another on this day, something tangible from another person, see it as a blessing, see it as a gift. Don't look at that cookbook from grandma and say, what am I going to do with that? See, okay, what can I, how can I use this good fortune to, receiving grandma's cookbook? How can I use this to increase my happiness, to increase the energy of blessing in my life? I know I'll host a dinner party and invite all my nearest and dearest, and I'm going to cook a meal out of grandma's cookbook for everybody, and we're going to have a great night. Could look like that. There's an opportunity. You're utilizing that gift to create more opportunities for happiness and joy. Jupiter is joy in your life. So that's just an example. Of course, there's a million ways you could use a wonderful heritage cookbook. I talk about it a lot. I use this example a lot, and I'll give it to you, my beautiful Pisces friends. But, if you received a cookbook like that, why not start a YouTube channel and cook through each of the grandma's recipes, and then sell the cookbook, a produced copy of the cookbook at the end of your cooking through the cookbook kind of on YouTube. There's an opportunity that you could make with that kind of inheritance, that legacy. So do you see what I'm saying here? In a nutshell, Pisces, something good is going to happen that's going to transform and change your life. Have your eyes opened to the opportunities, to the good fortune, to the increased happiness that comes your way. Don't take anything for granted, because this is your good karma. And if you utilize it, blessing, growth, prosperity, and abundance is yours, as well as big life change and getting you out of a rut. How lovely. Don't let any of your good fortune go to your head, I'll just say, because this is an opposition, which is a hard aspect, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't let any of your good fortune go to your head, and don't sort of waste an opportunity that comes your way. Keep humble, keep grateful. Thank you, my beautiful Pisces. Now, Aries rising, sun or moon people, the energy of gorgeous Jupiter-Sun opposition is occurring in your first house. Jupiter's in your first house, the sun is in your seventh, so it's on your relationship axis. So this could bring great good karma and good blessing to a relationship for you. So this could look like, I don't know, maybe you've been having relationship troubles, and then suddenly everything starts to fall into place without too much effort. Everything starts to work and go your way as a blessing and a reward for good karma. Maybe your relationship has been crap for years and you're like, I just wish I could get out of here, but I don't know how to end it. I've had enough, could look like that's the situation you're in. And then through some sort of good karma, your spouse is like, look, this is not working. Let's just go our separate ways. We'll split things 50-50. Let's not go to court because that's just some bullshit. How about we just wind things up? So, and that could be your good karma. So it's relational good karma, whatever that looks like to you. I've given you a couple of scenarios there. That is what is coming your way, Aries. The chance to receive blessing in a relationship. Maybe it's a relationship starting. You might meet somebody and it's your good karma to find a soulmate, to find a twin flame that increases your happiness, excuse me, or your good fortune. But if this is the case, whatever happens relationally is going to occur without too much effort on your behalf. You're not going to have to sort of pull out all the stops and strive. It's coming for you. The seventh house is also a house of trade, sales, negotiation, and mediation. And so there's good karma with any deals, any, business, associations that you're creating. There's good karma here with contracts that you're going to sign. Now, that said, it is still Mercury retrograde. I would not be signing any contracts during Mercury retrograde, my beloved Aries. But if you make an unofficial deal, that you sign the contract for once Mercury's gone direct. If you make the deal on this day, like, what, I'm going to come back in a week and I'm going to sign a contract for this deal. Okay, handshake, cool. Then it can actually be so benevolent for you, like it's good karma, like some deals, some trades, some negotiation that goes your way, falls into place. That is good karma, good luck, good blessing from Jupiter here. Okay, what else can this look like? We've talked relationships, we've talked contracts and, commitments and what have you, vows and promises. This is also the house of the public, of the people. your audience, your clients. So you might get some very benevolent clients on this day, the 27th of September, Aries. Clients who bring blessing your way. They come to you, they love your work, and so they tell their mother, their brother, their father, their sister, their cousins, and the whole family comes to you for work, and wow, what a blessing. Now you've got a bazillion clients because of one person. That's the kind of thing we have, benevolent clients, benevolent audience who shares your work, who promotes you, who is just on your side, all for you. This can happen for you on the 27th because of this beautiful benevolent energy of Jupiter opposite the Sun. All right, our Taurus rising Sun or Moon people, we've got this gorgeous energy coming our way this week of the Sun opposite Jupiter. This happens once a year, and it's when Jupiter's at his brightest in the sky, bringing blessing. So this is you, your identity, who you are, how you shine in the world, being aspected by an opposition from Jupiter in the 6th house. Now, Taurus, this is a difficult house. It's a house of dissolution, of harmony. It's a house of conflict and adversity and hard work. That's the shadow side, the low side of the 6th house. It's one of the most difficult houses, in my opinion, in astrology. But it's the house of where we struggle. It's also the house of why we struggle. Now, that said, this benevolent energy, falling in the house of struggle and difficulty and challenge, can actually turn things around 180 degrees for you. So maybe you have been in a situation of fighting with your partner and it just doesn't end. The fights go on and you're like tearing your hair. I'm so sick of this relationship. I want out of here. This is an energy where a relationship could wind up, and it's like the best thing that's ever happened to you. Conflict has led to a karmic reward of something ending. It can be that way. That said as well, just to touch on that ending cycle, like this is a cycle, an annual cycle of the Sun and Jupiter. It's been a waxing phase of the Sun opposite Jupiter for the last 6 months or so. Now there's going to be this waning. You've reached the full capacity. Jupiter is at sort of its brightest in the sky. So what that is telling me is that you've probably gone as far as you can go with some adversity. It could be fighting with your partner, could be difficulty at work, it could be an enemy who's been stabbing you in the back or something. And then this is going to bring some good experience, that's going to end that cycle. That's what this is telling me. So if you've been fighting with your partner, you might decide to part ways, split things 50-50, away you go, thumbs up, let's stay friends, you go live your life, I'll go live mine, and everybody's happy. Cool, easy does it. This is an energy of things falling into place without too much effort. Yay. It could be that there's an enemy who's been stabbing you in the back, and suddenly, maybe at work they've been sort of, undermining you or something, and suddenly they get a transfer to the other side of the country. You're never going to see them again. It's like, things falling into place without too much effort. What we're seeing here, Taurus, is difficult circumstances in life, which are represented by the 6th house, suddenly reaching some conclusion through your own good karma and karmic reward that you don't even have to make effort to see happen. It just happens, and it's good karmic reward for you, but it's often going to see the end of a difficult situation that's been perhaps going on for a while. So I hope you're seeing what I'm talking about. Now, that could be fights and arguments with people, but it could be problems with lack, not having enough. It could be health problems, diet problems. It's like, you know what? Good karma. I'm going to sort out my dietary problem that's been, causing me candida or whatever. And I'm going to sort out this budget problem that I have where I just don't seem to have enough money. And the universe says, hey, let me help you out here. Here is some reward. Here is some blessing. Here is some good karma to help you solve that debt, fix that dietary problem, get rid of that conflict situation. Brilliant. So opportunities are what the name of the game is here. Look for these opportunities. Look for these blessings. Jupiter will be putting them in your periphery if you're expecting them, looking for them, raising your vibration of hope to experience them. You will find that doors open for you that you can utilize. So I love this energy, and when it's happening in the 6th house, it can really be just what the doctor ordered, so to speak, to help us move ahead in life. by transforming our difficult circumstances. So good news for some of our Taurus friends. Gemini rising, sun or moon people, the energy of this Jupiter opposition to the sun, which is happening on the 27th of September at 3 degrees, is falling or will be felt mostly in the 5th house. So for Gemini people, there's probably likely to be some good karma with your children. So a good relationship with your children, or your children support you in some way. Maybe your children have received some sort of good fortune. Maybe your children receive a promotion, get some sort of opportunity for greater happiness, or get some opportunity for success. We see that the good karma happens in the lives of our children with this aspect, but we also receive good karma as well, because this is the house of good karma. The sun is right at home in the 5th house, which is a lovely place that the sun's going to be for you Gemini people for the next 30 days. Not only that, but you're getting this beautiful opposition aspect from the great benefic Jupiter. This is going to be a really fabulous time, I feel, for Gemini people, where things tend to fall into place without too much effort. You know, good times, this is what 5th house rules, good times and pleasures and entertainments come your way without you having to sort of make it happen. You know, you go to a party and it's just a great party. You go to a concert and it's just fantastic concert. Good karma. Love it. I would also suggest that there could be benefic situations with boyfriends or girlfriends, or if you're in a love relationship already, like a marriage or something, then it can be a very benefic time for them and for you. Lots of romance, lots of joy, lots of happiness with romance and dating for a lot of Gemini people too, where you don't have to make the effort. Everyone's just kind of like chasing you, perhaps, Gemini people. So lots of joy, lots of exhilaration and excitement and happiness tend to come your way without having to force it, without having to make it happen. Fun, parties and games, all that kind of cool stuff. Our ability to feel love is seen through the 5th house as well, and this will be expanded. So we will feel more loved. We will feel more supported by the universe. The things we love will be more obvious to us. We will know what we love and where we are directing our love to. Sometimes we can be a bit ambiguous about that. You know, like, oh, yeah, I think I like football. You know, maybe I'll go watch the football game. I don't like football, but sometimes I do enjoy going to a football game. So, you know, we can be a bit ambiguous about that sort of thing. That's an example. And this can make it clear to us what we love, what we enjoy, because there's great clarity with this transit as well. So one thing I would say, though, is don't let your good luck go to your head and take all sorts of risks and, you know, dive into things that are, you know, a bit iffy. You know, that we can sort of think, hey, the universe has got my back and I'm feeling so held and so supported by the universe. I'm just going to take liberties. You know, liberties with my partner, liberties with my children, liberties with risk-taking ventures. And then it's like, oh, hang on a minute, that didn't work out like I thought it would. So just be careful of that. Keep a bit humble. Don't be inclined to going to excess, and don't waste any opportunities that come your way, because there's a lot of good luck with this energy. And if your eyes are open, if you're humble, and if you say, thank you, universe, this is a great chance to make money, this is a chance to connect well with my children, this is a chance to have more love, and you honor that opportunity, then great blessing can actually be the result of that. Okay, thank you, Gemini. Now, Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon energy. Well, what we're seeing here, I have to stop my board. Hang on a minute. It likes going for a walk when we get to Cancer. There we are. So we've got the sun opposite Jupiter falling on the 4th house, 10th house axis. And of course, when anything's in an angular house in whole sign astrology, we feel it even more strongly, especially if we've got planets around 2 or 3 degrees of these signs too. But this is happening on the 27th of September. And this is going to bring more opportunities for success and good fortune and increased happiness in the realm of the family. So what we could see here is maybe you've been dealing with some real estate opportunity, and lo and behold, it all falls into place for you without you even having to lift a finger. Suddenly you get the call from the real estate agent who says, guess what? They're going to sell you that house for that price you offered. And you're like, whoa, how cool is that? don't go signing the contract for it until after Mercury turns direct. But this is what we're seeing. Good karma coming your way with home, with family, with heritage, with roots, with lineage. So I love it. I love it, Cancer. You might have a parent who might have been struggling recently, this house of parents, and lo and behold, something, some opportunity, some good fortune comes their way, and the parents, maybe you've had a parent who's got dementia or something like that, and they need to find a place in a home for permanent care, but there's just no places. And if there are, they're all at really crappy institutions, and you wouldn't put your dog in there. Lo and behold, on this day, this is just an example where things can fall into place without too much effort. You get the phone call, good fortune, hello, benefit, we've got a place for your mum at this wonderful venue, or a place for your dad in this old age care home. And so good karma. That's what that is, Now, this is an ordinary everyday circumstance, or it's not an everyday circumstance, but it's a circumstance of difficulty that we often face with our parents in life. And what we're seeing here, this is the house of parents, is opportunity, blessing. It's not going to look like suddenly mum and dad win $1 million in Tats Lotto. It's going to look like something in a tangible, practical way that helps bring blessing into their lives. So I've used that illustration. It probably is considered to be quite a harsh illustration, but it can be in any way. Mum and dad get an opportunity. Mum and dad get some good fortune. Mum and dad get some chance for increased happiness. There is good karma here, and if you're a mum or a dad, you might find that parenting is blessed on this day, that things fall into place without too much effort. There are rewards for your good deeds with your family. You might be asked to join the family business. You might be told that, in the family lineage, because this is our family lineage, fourth house, there's a cottage in Greece that belongs to the family, and guess what? You're allowed to use it. You can go stay there, or it's going to be left to you in the will. You find this out. Good karma falls in your lap regarding family, lineage, heritage, and roots in some way. I love this energy, my beautiful Cancer friends. Now, it's also the house of our core emotional strength. And so you are going to feel strong and vital emotionally on this day, okay? So whereas if you have negative planets here, sometimes we can feel depressed and sad and down. This is a day for feeling so upbeat and so positive, like I can take on the world. The universe has my back. Everything's going to work out okay. And that's a wonderful place to be. And just as within, so without, if we're feeling that energy of satisfaction and happiness, we tend to find that things fall into place. The jigsaw puzzle pieces all line up, and there's the beautiful puzzle before us. Like, things work out. Life comes together. Things happen in our favor when we internally are vibrating well. And this is a day, an energy, I should say, when your vibration can be at its very highest, at its peak, and blessing can come your way because of that. So I love this energy for my Cancer friends. You could really do with that kind of uplifting energy. Now, Leo rising, sun or moon people, the energy of this blessed once annual transit of Sun opposite Jupiter is falling for you guys in, sorry about that, in the third house, third house, ninth house axis. So my Jupiter friends, you might have some really good luck with a small business under this energy where you've put in some good effort. Like, I'm a Leo sun. I hope this happens to me, quite frankly. But maybe you've been working really hard on your astrology business for the last 5 years, putting in time, energy, and, free information and education over and over and over again. And then here we get this beautiful energy, ninth house, third house, that says, hey, good karma. Good reward for your deeds is coming your way. You're going to get a heap more clients. You're going to get a heap more subscribers to your Royal Stars Academy, Kesenya. You're going to get lots more Patreon members who want to know all about the full moon and the new moon each month, plus a lot of other cool astrological info. Like, that's what we're seeing with this. If you have a small business, it can flourish or take a flutter towards more success under this beautiful annual influence of good karma and rewards for your hard work. Yay, sounds good, doesn't it? But this is also the house to do with sharing information. So if you're somebody who shares information, maybe you're a teacher or a workshop host, maybe you write, maybe you speak, maybe you do things on social media, then you can actually have some success as well, even if it's not your small business per se. You might do well in tests and exams. If you've got tests and exams that you have to undertake on this day, the 27th of September, you could actually do exceedingly well, because there is blessing, there is opportunity, there's good fortune that is sitting energetically on your side under this influence. So yeah, lovely energy. This is, like I said, it's rewards for good deeds, but things falling into place without too much effort. I want to just suggest though, it is an opposition, which is a hard aspect in Western astrology. Don't let any good fortune and good luck in, on your social media, suddenly you've got 1,000 new subscribers or something, or getting accepted by a journal to have an article published and that kind of thing. Like, don't let any of that good luck and success go to your head in any way. This energy can incline us towards a bit of excess and over expectation, and we can then sort of say, oh yeah, I thought that would happen, and we waste an opportunity that the universe presents us. So see blessing for what it is, a blessing of energy that's gone your way, that's supported you, that's had your back. Be grateful for it. Thank the universe for it. Dance in the joy of that energy, but don't take it for granted. Don't let it go to your head. And also don't feel like it's always going to be that way. So, we can be really disappointed if we get sort of 1,000 new subscribers on our Instagram page, and then the next day, crickets, and then we don't get any new subscribers for months. And we're like, oh, disappointment. I thought it was always going to be 1,000 new subscribers every day. What's going on, That is letting it go to our head. That is having an expectation that's excessive, I'm not saying you're not going to get 1,000 subscribers a day. Wouldn't that be great? And I hope you all do. But what I'm trying to say is, don't let this go to your head. Be grateful and thankful for what shows up. Make the most of that opportunity that comes your way. Live in the joy of it. And just find the pleasure and the optimism in what you receive from the universe under this influence on the 27th of September, my Leo friends. I just will conclude by saying this is the house of our talents and abilities. Some of you might find that new talents, new capacities, new abilities might be illuminated in your life, and you might discover some whole new capacity that you didn't know you had. You decide you're going to become a stonemason because you've found out you love working with stone, or maybe you find that you like to write about conspiracy theories or something, and you start a YouTube channel on conspiracy theories, and it brings a lot of blessing. Now hang on, I've gone off, and I was talking about talents and abilities that are constructive, and I've gone off on the social media side of things. Back to the talents and abilities with the hands. Maybe you're looking for a new career, and you're sitting at home doing your daughter's hair one night, and you're like, you know what, I should do hairdressing. Cha-ching! And then you're like, wow, I should chase this pleasure, this talent that I get a lot of pleasure out of, and make it work for me. So keep your eyes peeled for opportunities, because they're going to be all around you in terms of your capacity to use your hands, to create a small business, to work on making some self-made wealth, to have success in communication. It's going to all be out there for you. You've just got to have the eyes to see it, Leo. And finally, thank you, my dear Virgo friends, for sitting with us right to the end. Virgo rising, Virgo sun, Virgo moon people. The energy of the Jupiter Sun opposition is falling in your second house, and this is a really benevolent, happy, blessed energy. And what we're seeing is that there could be some opportunities for success in creating material wealth, in creating like good funds in your life, good fortune that lead to good an increase in happiness, because this is the house of our physical goods, our stuff that supports our journey. You might find that somebody brings around a hamper of food for you, and you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming, and no good reason for it, but hey, blessing. Jupiter opposite Sun in the house of food, which is a resource that we need. So there we are. It could be shelter, it could be clothing, it could be anything material that suddenly falls into your lap. You receive some good fortune there, and it will fall into your place without too much effort, because that's the nature of this combo. Jupiter aspects like this are particularly connected to good karma and reward for good deeds. So maybe you, excuse me, maybe you did a good deed for somebody years ago. You know, maybe you donated to charity years ago, you know, and I did that actually back when I was in my teens. I had a small job, and I felt compassion, Pisces, compassion for people, for kids who are growing up on the streets. I just gave everything, all my savings, to some company that, you know, and maybe it was some good deed like that, Virgo, that you did a long, long time ago to bless somebody else with good karma, and now that karmic reward's coming back to you and coming into, you know, landing in your lap. And what happens is there's material blessing as a result of that. And you know what they say, you know, like there's an old saying, and it's escaping me now, but it goes along the lines of what you give out, you receive back tenfold. So let's say you gave $1,000 to some charity to help street kids, you know, 30 years ago. Well, it comes back tenfold. What are you going to get? $10,000 that lands in your pocket as a result of that good karma coming back to you. That's what this is all about. That's the blessing of this energy. So lots of things to look forward to for Virgo people. Keep your eyes peeled for opportunities. Now, I don't want it to go to your head and, you know, expecting excess, because Jupiter oppositions and Jupiter squares can put in us an expectation of certain things that are just ridiculous, you know, overextension of our expectations. And we're saying, oh, well, you know, Kesenya said I'm going to get $10,000 in my bank account. Oh, you know, I'm waiting for it, looking for it. Oh, when's this $10,000 coming in? And it doesn't show up. But maybe somebody, you know, dropped a hamper on your front doorstep of beautiful food. And you're like, oh, thanks very much, you know. Oh, where's that $10,000 in my bank account? And you miss the opportunity because Jupiter opposition can say, I'm expecting this. But look, you've just got a hamper of beautiful food. What a gift, what a blessing. And we waste opportunities, and we, through our excess, it's gone to our head what we're expecting, that we miss excuse me, the blessings, the happiness, the good fortune that actually is around us. So keep humble, Virgo. You're good at that. Keep humble. And keep your eyes peeled for blessing in the material realm on the 27th of September, and offer your gratitude to the universe. Be in a state of jovial happiness. Jupiter is where we get the word jovial from. Be in a state of happiness about the blessing that comes your way in the material realm, because it will come your way and it will be there. Just have the eyes to see it and to appreciate it, my beautiful Virgo friends. Looking forward to the 27th of September, because finally there could be a little bit of good news coming our way. I hope it is the case for all of you, my beautiful friends on YouTube. May you be blessed this week. I'll be back next week with another Astro Weather Report. I'll catch you then.